And welcome back to Tempe, Arizona. 38-14, Minnesota enjoying the holidays here at the Insight Bowl, 18th annual Big Ten, Big 12 matchup. And we were expecting some high-octane offense. We thought it was going to be the guys in white, but it's those maroon and gold jerseys that have done all the scoring. But the Red Raiders are knocking on the door, Coach.
But Minnesota's been a good offensive team, really, all year. They've done a pretty darn good job. They've moved the ball. They've averaged 368 yards a game. They've averaged 27.9 points a game. So they've done a pretty good job offensively. But the whole package together is what they've done tonight. Defense, offense, taking the ball away.
So Harrell will march up to the line of scrimmage. First he was in shotgun formation. Play action, going to the end zone. Touchdown, Robert Johnson. And it's getting a little tighter, Coach.
Little play action to freeze the linebacker inside. You'll see the fake to the fullback or the running back right, then throw it right in line with the fake. They pull the defender forward, then throw in behind them. Good scheme, good plan. Now, if it's man-to-man coverage, it's a little tougher to do that. But against the zone coverage, you can get that done.
And they do get it done, so now it's the extra point for Alex Trelika. Between the uprights as he sneaks it in right inside that left upright to make it 21. So they cut the lead down to 17. Robert Johnson from Graham Harrell. Back in a moment. To the Insight Bowl. Coach, what happened on that play?
Well, they lined up in four wide receivers, spread across, 4 wide receivers across the board, ended up man-to-man putting a safety, and they didn't play zone as they originally thought. They played man. The play action froze the linebacker inside, and the wide receiver was a mismatch for a safety on him one-on-one situation, and he beat Dominic Barber for the touchdown on the slant pattern.
So that touchdown cuts the lead to 17. At one point it was 38-7. So Texas Tech certainly has the momentum going in their direction. This is Dominic Jones again. He will bring it out of his own end zone. He's got a crease crossing the 25-yard line before he is brought down. As you know, this is the second of 3 football games in 3 days on NFL Network. On Saturday night, it's the New York Giants and the Washington Redskins.
Be a good ball game.
Oh, it's going to be a fantastic game, and our coverage begins at 5 Eastern time with Total Access on location. Rich Eisen, Deion Sanders, Marshall Falk, Steve Mariucci. 3 hours getting you ready for the kickoff.
I hope they can handle that without my help.
I know they are. Brian Couple.
I folded the first game. I only went the first half.
You hung in there, Coach. You gave it a valiant effort. Motion man for the Gophers. They stay on the ground. It's Penix who's brought out of bounds. So it's what you would expect, Coach. The Gophers going to just continue to try to grind it out and run that clock down.
Yeah, but they will then, if they stay true to form, they will come up with a pass when you don't expect it and hit a nice chunk. That's what they've done in the second half.
17-point lead for Glenn Mason, and you start talking about the job that he has done and building this program up. Before he got there weren't a lot of bowl games that the Gophers were going to. Payne in motion for the Gophers. Cupido back to pass. Out in the flat. That's Penix. First down.
Nice tackle. Good fundamental tackle that time.
Joe Garcia
did a really nice job.
He popped him.
He's the leading defensive back in terms of tackling. This guy, he bent his knees properly. Went in. Now you'll see it from the left side of your screen. He'll flash into it. Wham! You see that? Head up, tail down, feet apart. Went right through the tackle. Nice job by Joe Garcia.
Former Gatorade Player of the Year in New Mexico, from Clovis High School in New Mexico.
Yeah, he had 13 of those tackles like that against Texas A&M when they win. He can hit you.
He's a very, very physical football player. 3rd and 1, they go I formation. They give it to the up back fullback, and it's Valentine.
Second effort.
One of those weight room runs there.
Yeah, it's good, strong second effort. He doesn't get to carry the ball very often because he's basically a blocker or not in there at all because they go to a one-back attack. But here he's just going to line, offensive line comes off the ball as hard as they can come off. They get good push there by Brinkhouse, the offensive center, 77, and the left guard, Tyson Schweigert. And they got just enough, and then he ricochets off on just determination.
Justin Valentine, Jr. out of Columbus, Ohio, helps give the Golden Gophers a first down. And again, that familiar double tight end set and a fumble on the play, and Cupido hops on it quickly like a cat.
Isn't that Columbus, Ohio State? They get so many good football players. They all can't go there. They all can't go there, so they go other schools. Unfortunately, this guy chose the University of Minnesota, which is really one of the fine universities in the country. Normally, when you get a fumble like that, the center blames the quarterback and the quarterback blames the center, and the coach is mad at both of them.
Yeah, it just looks like...
that one, it looks to me, now I'm a quarterback coach, I say that was the center's fault.
I'm not surprised there, Coach. I'm not surprised.
Looks like they're going to come after him. Yeah, he's reading it. Oh,
he calls a timeout.
He didn't like what he saw. It looked like they were lining up to run a blitz. He didn't like what he had called, and he got out of it.
So the Gophers will call their first timeout. The second half, we'll take a break. 38-21, Minnesota on top. And welcome back to Tempe, Arizona, 18th annual Insight Bowl. Darren Horton along with Dick Vermeil and Alex Flanagan. 38-21 our score as the Golden Gophers out of the Big Ten Conference with a dominating performance early on. At one point led 38-7, but the Texas Tech Red Raiders coming back with 14 unanswered. Cupido again to the air. And no flag down, Coach.
That looked like pass interference. Maybe it wasn't.
Antonio Huffman in on the coverage. Coach, why wasn't this called?
Because it wasn't. If it's not called, it's not. I learned that a long time ago. He's one-on-one right there, but that's pass interference all the way. You know, that's not legal in this game.
What did they say? You got away with one?
But that it should never. That's too obvious. That should not be missed.
Well, they missed that one, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 10 for Cupido. Looking deep down the sideline.
He got it.
What a catch! Beautiful catch by Eric Decker.
Holy mackerel. These guys, it's amazing. That was a beautiful, beautiful play.
You talk about accuracy.
Yeah, but the receiver really helped the quarterback on that one. They were working together that time. There's a redshirt freshman doing a beautiful job. He's one-on-one press coverage. He gets the time to throw it. He lays it up over the outside shoulder to the right side of your screen. Here it is. Boop, look at belly out. Beautiful, beautiful play. You don't see any better than that in the NFL.
He is a great athlete out of Cold Springs, Montana. Back to the ground now.
See, if they don't stop him here, boy, it's going to be really tough coming back. And the offensive line looks right now. They're getting a little stronger. And maybe all that possession time early at first quarter when they were banging on and doing all those things and eating up the clock, wearing down that defense. Is showing now.
Softening them up. Penix with 172 yards on the ground on 27 carries and a touchdown.
His best game was 173 versus Purdue. So if he goes in one more carry, he's going to have his best game of his career.
2nd and 4.
Unbalanced line to the right.
They pitch. Penix.
Broken play.
Yeah,
great job.
All over it.
Yeah, they broke
it. Tillman.
Yeah. They had a mental mistake on that play, believe it. They turned the defender loose. They were an unbalanced line, more people to the right. And you'll see this from out here. They have a wing over here like that, but they don't block this defender. I don't know if someone lined up wrong or if some offensive lineman was supposed to pull, but nobody blocked Tillman, number 56.
You know, Tillman's father was an All-American at Texas Tech. He's watching this game.
He played 7 years for the Dolphins as well.
He's a pretty good football player. Tillman's hoping to get a 6th year of eligibility. 3rd and 7 for the Golden Gophers. Cupido tries to dump it off. He was feeling some pressure as the white jerseys got in beyond the line of scrimmage.
I think they're trying to sneak somebody out of the backfield on that, and they snatched him. They grabbed him and didn't let him get out. I'm not too sure. But they did get some pressure on him, and they ran a cross stunt up in the inside, and there comes Steve. Yeah, that was Davis, I think, 92.
That was Nitchman.
Nitchman, okay, that's a Seth Nitchman.
4th down and 7, 17-point lead, and the Golden Gophers are going for it. And just so you know,
this has been their profile all year.
Yeah, they've got some issues in the kicking game. So and we saw what they did on 3rd and 10. They had that 26-yard pass play to Decker and a timeout called by Texas Tech. They want to make sure they have the right formation in there. Should take a look at Glenn Mason, his team on top of Mike Leach's team. 38-21 in the 18th annual Insight Bowl. 38-21 here at the Insight Bowl. Minnesota got up early and they put the pedal to the metal, if you will.
Well, Texas stayed in bed for a while there. They're coming back now.
You talk about success on 4th down. How about what they've done tonight? 2 for 2.
They've got press man coverage. They're liable to go deep. He's checking. He recognizes it.
Cupido, 3-step drop, pump fake, and down he goes. It's Daniel Charbonnet who comes up with the sack.
He comes off the top, number 10. Oh, here he is up at the top of your screen, coming off. They didn't account for the safety coming. I think Pinnock saw him, but saw him late. And Charbonnet, that sounds like a Cabernet or a Chardonnay or a combination of both.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, this fine wine.
That was a nice play.
A fine play.
You bet. Takes time to do a good wine.
Coach, I'm not surprised at your depth when it comes to breaking down wine as well as football.
Give him time.
Harrell
nice
out
throw.
the flat.
Nice throw. He is impressive to me. There's no effort for him to throw a difficult pass. No strain, no overemphasis of body motion. He just flips it with his arm. Look how easy he makes this look. See how no forcing the throw. Nice rhythm. Good catch out there by Todd Walker, throwing a zone break out pattern.
And as you mentioned, Coach, they're only bringing 3, so he's got plenty of time.
They brought 5 this time, so he's going to have some trouble. And he wanted to run a screen. He had no one to go to because they had the screen man picked up man-to-man. Good change of pace that time by David Lockwood, the outside linebacker and defensive coordinator who calls the signals. Just caught him off balance a little bit. You'll see here, there's going to be more people coming now. As you look there, normally it's been 3. Now here comes 4. Here comes the 5th. See, now they're coming with 6 people downfield and rushing 5.
Bring up 2nd and 10 for Mike Leach's team. Trailing by 17, hoping to strike quickly.
They're bringing 5 again.
Harrell across the center. He's got a man. And it's Eric Morris who hauls it in. Don't forget, following us here on NFL Network, NFL Total Access. Fran Charles, Jamie Dukes.
Good job of picking that up. Again,
and Rod Woodson will break everything down.
They brought 5 people that time, Darren, and covered the 6th. They used the same defensive scheme twice in a row, and looks like they're coming with something different here. They're rushing 4 this time.
But again, not getting to Harrell, and he misses his man.
Yeah.
He was looking for Filani, Joel Filani, the captain out of Paradise Valley High School right here in Phoenix.
Yeah, well, he slips, I think, on this moist grass down there. He turns back to the inside. He tries to stop, and you can see him slip. But the ball was thrown behind him.
So 2nd and 10. Clock stops on the incompletion. You look at the numbers of Harrell tonight, 23 of 38, 295, a couple of touchdowns and the pick. Play action, Harrell again, across the middle. Johnson complete inside the 15 for another first down for the Red Raiders.
This time they keep 2 backs in the backfield, only have the 3 receivers spread out, and they fake a draw to the inside initially, freeze people, then they go down in the seam with a nice sharp throw and a very good call by Mike Leach.
Clock stops, and now as it's set, begins to roll. Harrell with time. Again, it's Johnson spinning, still on his feet, reaches across. Is that a touchdown?
It looked like it, unless they say his knee hit. It looked like to me from here, but I am so far away, I'm testing my glasses, believe me. Get after him, Mike.
We're going to have to get you some binoculars up here, Coach. Robert Johnson has had a terrific night. 6 receptions.
Touchdown.
And it is a touchdown. So Graham Harrell takes it in.
We got a football game. Don't count these kids out.
We told you about their quick strike ability. And now they've got it within 11. 7 plays, 63 yards in a minute 31, Coach.
It's about their average for many of the games they played.
Trelika on for the extra point. Through the uprights, and we got a 10-point ball game, Coach. The sophomore from Ennis, Texas, goes across from a yard out, and they're within 10. And welcome back. Take a look at Graham Harrell, who scored the latest touchdown, and look at the scoring by quarter, Coach.
They're coming on. They're coming on. And that third quarter field goal opening drive by Minnesota right now looms a very, very big series.
It was just a 20-yard field goal by Joel Monroe, but right now it has the Gophers up by 10 as opposed to 7. Plenty of time left, 7:49 on the clock here in Tempe, Arizona. 18th annual Inside Bowl. Well, we got the offense that we thought we were going to get.
I think I'd go back to that pure 3-man rush cover where they fake the reverse on the kickoff return.
They do fake it, and it's Jones who has it, and he's got plenty of yards as he crosses the 30, just shy of the 35.
This kid is an electric little guy. He's 5'8", 190 pounds, and he can motor.
You know, you talk about the second half of Texas Tech, Coach. They've poured on the pressure.
They really have. Touchdown passes.
Joel Filani caught that one.
Quarterback sneak.
And then it was Robert Johnson. And then Graham Harrell going in from a yard out.
Once they get their motor running, they're hard to stop.
Last 3 possessions have resulted in touchdowns. And the Gophers will go to the ground, and Penix will get 5, perhaps 6, pending on the spot.
Very good running after initial contact. These yards are critical right now. That time, Chris Hudler, number 93, tackled him about 1 yard gain, and he ran out of the tackle for more yards. And when you're trying to maintain possession here and ball control and eat up the clock and hold your lead, those kinds of runs are big runs. Big runs.
There's the yak yardage that we've been tracking.
Yeah.
Bunch on the right. 2nd and 3. They go Penix, and he's stopped. Number 96, Deontay Dawson, the senior from Shreveport.
He's the captain of that defensive football team, co-captain with Bruce Stratton, and he's a fine player. You watch him play. He may be a little bit undersized for the NFL as a defensive end, but he might end up as a stand-up linebacker. You'll see him crashing in there. He has great acceleration out of a 3-point stance. He can burst to the ball, and he plays the game very, very low.
A Hendricks Award candidate, 6'3", 254, playing in his final game for the Red Raiders. 3rd down and 4. Huge play for the Red Raiders. Cupido looking for wheel right, and he hauls it in, but no, they say he's out of bounds.
See, he got him in man coverage, press man. Now, sometimes when you have press man coverage or tight man coverage, a short out converts into a fade down the sideline. That could have happened right here. But you see, He's out of bounds. He's only have to get one, but he definitely had the left foot out of bounds. Yeah, all the way.
He tried to drag the right foot, but wasn't able to do it. And they're not going to go for it here. Making the call here, you're going to boot it away.
They're starting to sweat on the other sideline right now. Having been in that situation a few times, you call it puckering.
Kusick puts a leg into it. Amendola avoids the first wave. Cuts it over the center of the field. Crossing the 40-yard line. And the Red Raiders clearly have the momentum. They're down by 10 with 5:34 to go. Amendola with a terrific return. Now we'll see what Graham Harrell can do with it here at the Insight Bowl. 38-7, now 38-28, and Texas Tech has the ball back, and they are one of the quick strike offenses, one of the best in the nation. In fact, #1 in all the country in quick strike, 24 touchdown drives in under 2 minutes, and they've got 5:34 to go. Harrell will shuffle underneath. It's Woods with a big hole crossing the 50. He's got a first down as he's brought down at the 42-yard line.
That play was originally designed at the University of Utah with Jack Curtis.
Really?
Yeah. You'll see this. They're going to flip the ball underneath. He'll go like that, flip it to him. They'll pass set right there to get the end up the field. So here he goes. Now they flip it to him, and then upfield. It's a running play. If he drops it, it's not a pass.
This time it's Walker out in the flat.
It's not a fumble.
He'll pick up 5 yards before he's crunched by Truman Banks. Under 5 minutes to go. Again, it was 38-7. And again, the no huddle. 2nd and 5.
Covering with 8.
Harrell with plenty of time. Near side, and it's caught by number 12, Eric Morris. And he's got another first down. And I believe he was able to get out of bounds.
Oh, yeah. Got to be careful of playing too loose. It looks like they're going to come with a multiple rush this time. Yeah, they're bringing 4 people rather.
It's Johnson again on that little comeback as he's brought down at the 10-yard line. Incredible.
The ball will be thrown to the right side of your screen when he finds that little hole inside. See, there wasn't a 5th defender underneath there, or a 4th defender. There was only 3 under, and they found that hole. They rushed that man that was normally covering in that hole.
First and goal to go from the 10-yard line. Harrell hands it off. Woods still on his feet, powering his way inside the 5-yard line.
Great determination. That's excellent effort. And the Golden Gophers have got to rally. That defender needed some help. Just determination. This is guts running. They can't get him on the ground. He needs some help. Where's those other Gophers? They're under the ground.
Yeah, Kevin Mannion got carried for about 5 yards on the play.
He needed some help.
And look at that clock. 52 yards in under 2 minutes. Talked about the quick strike ability of Graham Harrell in this Red Raiders air attack. Corner of the end zone, looking for Amendola. It was a little too long.
He saw the coverage. He audible to that pattern. He saw the man coverage up. They ran a crossing pattern, actually attempting to try to pick a defender, really, and lay it up there at the pylon in the back of the end zone. Boy, this guy is really, he sees the man coverage across here, so they try to get him out there and him in there and get the ball to the flag, and they couldn't get it done. See, right there, they tried to pick the defenders and couldn't get it. That was not called in the huddle.
3rd down and goal, trailing by 10. Harrell out of the shotgun. Quick pass, knocked away at the last second, but we got a flag. Dominic Jones appeared to have knocked it away, but there is a flag on the play.
There was contact early, it looked like from here. God, I'll tell you, I'm impressed with Graham Harrell. Here he is, a sophomore, first-year starter in a bowl game, his rookie year, so to speak, and bringing him back and putting him in a position to win the football game after being down like they were at halftime. A lot of poise.
It's going to be pass interference.
Defense number 2. The ball will be placed on the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
So it's against the sophomore from Columbus, Ohio.
See, Joe Filani out there is 6'3". Dominic Jones is 5'8".
They hand it off underneath.
Got him on the ground there.
And Woods is not going to be able to reach the end zone. But again, it's a first down, but time now is becoming a factor, Coach.
That was a big play. Yeah, because, see, they don't get in the end zone. The clock is running. They're eating up clock time. Shorten the game. Now we're down to 3 minutes and 7 seconds.
Quick snap.
I don't know if he got
Harrell
in.
tries to go across.
I don't think he got in then.
No signal as of yet.
And the clock is running.
That was Sherrills who was able to prevent him from going in. So it brings up a 3rd and 1, Coach. You're down by 10, Coach. Is a field goal an option here? Do you think about that at all?
Well, yeah, you could, because you're 2 scores out of it. You get the first one with 3 points and come back and get the 7. But I don't know with 2:45 you can afford to do that.
Again, they hand off underneath. This time it's a touchdown by Woods. Shannon Woods, the sophomore from McKinney, Texas, goes into the end zone, and we've got ourselves a 4-point game.
Going to one because Alex, their PA ticker is an NCAA record holder of now what, 166 in a row.
Exactly.
Consecutive PATs. Is that
the
right?
longest streak in the history of the NCAAs, and he puts it right through to extend that. So it's
166.
So we have a 3-point game. At one point, it was 38-7.
Right.
Unbelievable. That happened with 7:47 remaining in the 3rd quarter. It was 38-7. Unbelievable. Oh, boy, you look at Glenn Mason. Coach, you've been in this position before when you've had a big lead. And as you said, what did you say?
I'll tell you this, when you feel it fading, when you feel that momentum fading and you're on the sideline, boy, there is nothing you can do to change it. Somebody on the field has to change it. And boy, it is tough.
How about the last 6 possessions for the Texas Tech Red Raiders?
This is the game tapes I looked at. That's what I was seeing coming into this ballgame. They just didn't start very early because Minnesota played so extremely well, on both sides of the ball.
Let's check in with Alex Flanagan.
Hey, Darren, you guys talk about the momentum. Clearly, Texas Tech has had the momentum all of the 4th quarter, but it really sparked when Danny Amendola returned the punt. The sideline over here on Texas Tech just went crazy. I want to remind you guys, I know that you know that this team can score quickly, but in the 4th quarter, they have outscored their opponents. They have scored 157 points now in the 4th quarter so far this year. That's to their opponent's 69 points. Texas Tech, 3 behind, Darren. Can they get it done?
Well, we certainly will be here to watch and find out. I mean, this is a thriller, Coach.
Even this high up, I can feel the excitement down there.
So now they all gather on the right side.
They're not going to take it. They're not going to take a chance on the defense getting the ball back. They're going to take a chance on getting the ball back themselves with the onside kick.
That's right. Minnesota calls the timeout because they want to make sure they got their hands people in there. You see Mike Leach. You talk about the tale of 2 halves, Coach.
This guy's a good football coach. You know what? Wasn't a nice thing that he said about Glenn Mason? He said, Glenn Mason, we all our young coaches have learned from this guy because he's taken over 3 losing programs that weren't successful and turned them into bowl teams and successful football teams. And he says, we all learn from those kind of coaches.
And Mike Leach is one of the hottest coaching candidates year in and year out. The University of Miami.
They're paying him some money.
Oh, yeah. The University of Miami was very interested. There's been lots of rumors that that Alabama could be interested, but he's very happy at Lubbock.
Making the money he's making, he ought to grin from ear to ear. What, $2 million a year? You know what I was making at UCLA as head coach?
What?
$27,500.
Are you serious? Could you afford to live?
Barely. I know this, I couldn't live in Westwood. Times have changed.
I think
Times have changed.
Didn't Carroll say you guys, weren't you guys living in Woodland Hills?
Woodland Hills, yeah. Year to year. Yeah, what a great experience that was working at UCLA. Just a great, great institution. Great people there. Still are.
You talk about UCLA, they suffered a heartbreaker in their bowl game against Florida State.
I know they did.
Bobby Bowden could still do some coaching, huh?
Yeah, you know, speaking of Pac-10 area, you know, John Robinson sitting down here in the booth next to us broadcasting the game on radio. That was a hell of a football game.
Oh, yeah. One of the all-time greats.
Great, and a great person. I first met him when he was coaching at University of Oregon. I was a high school coach.
It's high enough. It's still loose, and it goes out of bounds. What a terrific job by Too Good.
Yeah, he did it too good. He got too much into it. It got batted in the air. Woo. Now you got to line up, just put your ears back and come after him. See if you can knock the ball loose. Wow.
So Minnesota has the ball now, just under 2.5 to go. They'll spot it right at midfield on the inside bowl insignia. Texas Tech has 2 timeouts remaining. Ground game for Penix.
Every inch counts right now. They've got to get up there and get everybody, defy him to throw the football, penetrate with that defensive lineman, run the linebacker through, knock him for a loose, maybe knock the ball loose. That's what they've got to try to do.
So a timeout called by Texas Tech to stop the clock at 2:04. Break in the action. We'll take one as well. 3-point lead for Minnesota. And welcome back, 38-35. Cupido back to the ground. The white jerseys are there to stop him, and they'll call a quick timeout.
See, they dominated the line of scrimmage that time. The defensive linemen are really coming off the ball, knocking them back.
And that is the final timeout for Texas Tech.
That's their third.
And as you look at where the momentum began to switch, take a look at the Pontiac game-changing performance, and it's this guy, Joel Filani, in the third quarter, caught a touchdown pass, a 43-yard touchdown pass, which at the time you're saying it's not really that big of a deal, but it turns out that got everything rolling, Coach.
Yes, it did. It started the change of momentum, and from there on, then the punt return later on, it just builds and builds and builds, and when you're on the other side of that, like I said earlier, there's not much you can do. Just hope someone on the field can go out and make a play that gets you turned around.
So 3rd and 7, Coach, and now no more timeouts for Texas Tech. 1:59 remaining. The Golden Gophers out of the Big Ten Conference. We told you about the momentum that they brought into this game. They had won 3 in a row to become bowl eligible. They're without their All-American, and this backup tight end, Jack Simmons, comes in and plays lights out.
He might be a little more flexible downfield receiver than the great big 275-pound tight end, Spade.
Yeah, one of the things about Spade is he is a terrific blocker. The guy that you'll see on Sundays in the NFL next year. 3rd down and 8 for Cupido. Play action. They get him, they rush him, and they sack him. What a play by Paul Williams.
They were trying to naked out the backside, and he just didn't get away with it. You'll see that they brought the pressure off the corner to the short side of the formation. They're bringing the pressure right here, knowing the block. The quarterback's going to try to come out and get outside it. Couldn't do it. They were bringing too many people at the house, and that's Mario Reese, the only senior in the 2 deep on Minnesota's defense, making the play. Big play.
Wow. So the Red Raiders are going to get the ball back. And we told you about the high-octane offense and the quick strike ability. And we've got a timeout by the Minnesota Golden Gophers, and that's their final timeout, so no more timeouts remaining. And Glenn Mason's team clinging to this three-point lead. Can't wait to see America's game tonight. The 1971 Dallas Cowboys. Been watching the promos. I know you have a great deal of admiration for Tom Landry.
No question. Probably the most consistently tough football coach I ever coached against. Week in and week out when we played his football team. I coached against him 7 years, so that's 14 games. Then I coached him in the NFC Championship football game. I'll tell you, it took 4 years to beat him once. Okay, 4 years was the first time. But anyway, you know, getting back to our ball game right here, Minnesota took a chance on running a naked bootleg coming out there. That, you know, and fortunately, Tech for them had a guy coming, a linebacker coming off the corner, and got him for negative yards. Here's a fourth down situation they're not going for.
All right, you take a look at Danny Amendola. Kusek on, booted away. It's a good one. Amendola drifting to his right, takes it, avoids a tackler, and so he gets up to the 12-yard line, and they have 1:06 to go to get into field goal range and tie up this game.
Now, if there's ever been a team in college football prepared to move the ball efficiently in this situation, it's the one we're going to watch snap the ball right now. These guys are pretty good in this environment.
So Harrell will go to work from his own 12, trailing by 3. And a flag on the play as one of the Red Raiders.
Cross to the snap. Ball start. They're not offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
So what was going to be a long, already very long drive now becomes a little bit longer. They're marching back to the 6-yard line. Harrell out of his own end zone, pumping with time. He's got a man. It's Filani who avoids it. No, it's Johnson, Robert Johnson, who makes the grab.
He is strong, this guy. He is strong. Now, he's 6'1", 218 pounds, and he really carries it well. And a great job of catching the turn-in pattern and then getting out of bounds with it. See, he wheels. They don't get him down on the ground right there. That was Mario Reese, 48. The only senior in the defense, and he gets the first down.
Gets out of bounds, stops the clock at 44. Harrell going the other side of the field. Beautiful pass.
What touch. He laid that over the defender as about as well as you can do it.
And Edward Britton out of bounds as they move the chains up to the 41-yard line.
Now the pressure now is on the defensive coordinator. Do I change up and do I put pressure on him? If I put pressure on him, I have to go to some man coverage. It looks like they're going to play with a real loose zone. They're blocking it. They ran a middle screen that time.
Filani gets up to the 50-yard line as the clock stops. Now remember, they're going to start the clock once they place the ball.
The field goal kicker's career long is 49 yards. He's 14 for 20 this year coming into this ball game, and he's only 1 for 3 outside of 40 yards. So they're going to get it in there as close as they can. He's 6 for 8 between 30 and 39 yards.
We already told you about his record that he set for PATs, but
this is a long PAT.
Yeah. He would have to get to the 32-yard line to make it a 49-yarder, and they're going to be about a half-yard shy. And I imagine checking this is actually helping the Red Raiders because now they can pounce on that ball once the spot goes down. 29 seconds remaining. Minnesota was up 38-7, and now with 29 seconds to go, Texas Tech is within 3. Graham Harrell out of the shotgun. Quick snap, plenty of time. Fires near side, incomplete. Looking for Joel Filani.
That was
21 seconds remaining.
That was a hook in, curl back toward the sideline, and he just threw it a little too low into the outside.
You look at that red line, and that shows you where the Red Raiders would need to get to match Alex Trolika's career long of 49. Again, out of the shotgun. Under 20 seconds to go. Joel Filani makes the catch out of bounds inside the 45-yard line. 17 seconds
at the 44
on the clock.
1st and 10.
You got to be thinking now, maybe from a defensive standpoint, of changing up your coverage a little bit. Maybe not blitz, but puts a little more pressure or roll up on the receivers so they can't catch those short ones.
Harrell with plenty of time.
Inbounds.
And it's complete on the near side to Robert Johnson.
See, if you roll up on the receivers and disrupt their courses, that disrupts the pattern timing, and then the safeties pick them up behind them.
His 9th reception, coach, for 97 yards. So 10 seconds on the clock, coach. How many plays can you get in here?
It depends on who you are and what happens. If you catch the ball and run with it, maybe that could be the last play. So it's got to be either in the end zone or out of bounds. Catch it and get out of bounds in field goal range.
No more timeouts. The Red Raiders with a quick huddle as they want to check to see whether or not this is indeed a first down.
That buys them a timeout right there.
And they're huddling on the near side of the field. They're just shy of the first down.
It really doesn't matter. I don't think
exactly.
It doesn't make it a bit different.
But as you mentioned, coach, it's a lucky break because it gives them a chance to huddle up.
To decide what they're going to do. But more often than not, in this situation, a coach will have it back in his mind, if he's in this situation, it'll be part of the game plan, but this is what I'm going to do. You know, and it's impossible to think out everything before you play a ball game. But many times a guy will have this defined in his mind. That's what they get. That time gave him an opportunity to get over to regroup and for the coach to pass the message on, hey, let's get this done.
And coach, again, the lineman right on top of the ball. As soon as the linemen get off, they can snap the ball, but the clock will begin.
The defensive backs are so far off those wide receivers, if they don't roll up from that position, he throws a quick out pattern, he's in field goal range. Yeah, see, they rolled up on him.
Fires incomplete.
See, he wanted to throw the out to the outside wide receiver, and the corner rolled up on him, and he couldn't.
Now what do you do, coach? You got 5 seconds.
I still think you try to make the first down throw out of bounds. You know, the yards you need for the shorter field goal.
Well, they're going to bring on Alex Trolika.
Oh, okay.
They're not going to take any chance here. He's going to set up at about the 42-yard line.
Yeah, 5 seconds. Yeah,
so it will be a 52-yard attempt to send this game into overtime. Trolika's career long is 49 yards. Snap is good. Kick is up. Good. It's on the way. Good! We're tied at 38.
Oh! What's that? Oh, Nelly!
Oh, my goodness!
Oh, my goodness. 5 seconds to go.
Alex Trolika.
That would have been good from another 6-7 yards back.
From 52 yards, a new career long to send this into overtime.
The other thing it sends it in with unbelievable momentum. If they win the toss, they mean Tech wins the toss. They will. They'll elect to kick off probably. Would Tech elect to kick off? Being the offensive team that they are with the college rule.
And look at Glenn Mason's reaction. He can't believe it. Disgusted.
He's got great composure right there.
So we're headed to overtime here at Tempe in the 18th annual Insight Bowl. Texas Tech and Minnesota. What a thriller. Back with the overtime when we continue.
Texas Tech, tails. It's tails. You win.
And you see the Red Raiders have won the toss here in overtime. In case you're just joining us, Minnesota had a 38-7 lead, and Texas Tech has stormed back here in the second half and tie it on an Alex Trelica career-long 52-yard field goal.
Yeah, but, you know, I'm not going to say I told you so. But what did I tell you?
You did tell me it wasn't over.
It wasn't over, and when you get that kind of a lead, you get feeling so comfortable. And when that comfortable feeling permeates the bench, I'll tell you, it is tough. Especially, and then it's magnified by an offensive team like this that gets going and rolling and coming back. Oh boy, it's tough.
So Minnesota begins complete, and that's Logan Payne, who's up near first down yardage. The Golden Gophers get the ball first here in overtime.
See, the momentum right now, white jersey side of the line is going to change with all the excitement what they have done, and that normally carries over into an overtime.
Cupido, the senior, the all-time leading passer in the history of Minnesota. Penix on the ground. He has enough to get the first down.
Nice tackle. Really
By the
well
way,
done.
Coach, if Texas Tech were to win this game, it would be the greatest comeback in the history of bowl games. The previous deficit was 30 points that East Carolina back in 2001 at the GMAC Bowl. They trailed 38-8. Of course, it's 38-7 here at the Insight Bowl.
Whoa!
Penix bottled up.
Woo! Great play by defensive lineman Keith Dawson. He got underneath Jack Simmons, the tight end, who was trying to cut him off. And this guy can really play the game low.
He is a senior playing in his final game.
He's
for
exciting.
Texas Tech.
Here he is right there coming underneath. It's really tough for the tight end to cut him off like that. He's got to use better footwork to get to him that way.
And that is Jack Simmons, who can definitely catch the ball, but Spaeth, a superior blocker. Cupido underneath looking for Simmons, and he couldn't hold on.
He threw that pretty hard. He really did.
And remember, Coach, the Golden Gophers, they do not exactly have what you would call a stellar kicker. Jason Giannini, who was their field goal kicker for much of the season, lost his job in the season finale versus Iowa. And Joel Monroe missed from 40 yards in his only field goal attempt in the regular season. We saw him hit one earlier, but that was from 20 yards.
You have defined a problem.
Cupido with some time, corner end zone, nearly picked off.
So now you make a decision. Do you go with Giannini or do you go with Monroe? Monroe has attempted one field goal and 4 PATs. He missed the one field goal. Giannini is 7 for 12. His long being 41 yards. But he is 5 for 5 inside 40 yards. And that's, you know.
They're going to go with Joel Monroe,
Really?
the sophomore from Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, who has already kicked a 20-yard field goal in this game. He missed from 40. This one is from 32. Kick is up, and it's between the uprights and good. So Minnesota,
That's gutsy.
they put 3 on the board.
That's gutsy. Giannini was 16 for 18 inside 40 in his career, and to go with the guy that's only kicked one field goal, they know him a lot better than we do.
Now the Red Raiders get an opportunity.
If you ever play defense, now's the time to do it. Now here you're caught in a dilemma of what kind of coverage you want. What kind of coverage? You know, down here it's you start playing those loose zones there, at least you don't have to back up very much, and you're always moving forward. So your opportunities for intercepting playing zone coverages down here are a little bit higher.
Graham Harrell now. They send Filani in motion. Harrell a little too high. He was looking for Johnson, and he had him, Coach.
Yeah, and you notice when he does miss a guy, it's normally high, never in the turf, never low or outside. When he misses a guy, he throws it over the top of him.
What do you attribute that to?
I don't know, just this kind of throw. He has that nose up properly. They tried to get it right down the hole right there. And actually, Johnson wasn't going full speed right there. Maybe that threw him off. I think he read the zone and settled in the zone.
2nd and 10 for Harrell. We are in the first overtime. Texas Tech coming back from a 38-7 deficit. This is Joel Filani, the native of Phoenix, coming home, trying to close out his career. What a storybook ending this would be for him.
Oh, it would. Say they threw a little wide receiver screen. Quick pass to one receiver. The other two receivers go downfield and block the potential tacklers. They executed that pretty well. It's like a wide running play, really. It's usually, I bet it's a 90% efficient in terms of completion.
How about Filani? 10 catches, 156 yards in his career finale.
Finale for Filani.
Harrell out of the shotgun. Fakes the underneath stuff.
Again.
Back to Filani. Works his way, pulls his way inside the 10-yard line.
Wow.
And Davis.
I'm just watching that Minnesota defense. Look at them move. They're just, it's just not the same guys we saw in the first half.
Coach, again, it bears repeating, this would be the greatest bowl comeback in the history of the NCAA.
I think
a 31-point deficit that Texas Tech was able to erase.
He's audibling right now. Oh. Steve Davis.
Yeah, a little too anxious, and Steve Davis gets in there way early.
Defense, number 92, elevated to the quarterback. It's a 5-yard, half the distance to the goal.
If there was ever a time for a team to live up to his profile on the season, would be now. That means take the ball away. If they, they've been so good at taking the ball away all year and tonight as well. If they did it now, they'd win the football game.
It would be a huge play.
Huge play.
They led the nation in takeaways, turnover margin, and we told you about the significance of this game. And if Texas Tech was able to win this game, again trailing 38-7, now they find themselves in overtime. Harrell hands it off underneath.
Good defense.
Woods. And he's
nice job by Sherrill's.
Yeah, Sherrill's
nice
the captain.
job. Yeah, did a nice job. Played that real inside out. Really nailed him real good. Defensive line didn't give any ground as well. And that allows the linebackers to scrape along the line of scrimmage and make those kind of plays. Sherrill's here, number 56. 58 scraping off. Here he comes right into the play and peppers him. But Steve Davis had already done a good job at the point of attack.
Texas Tech has never led in this ball game. Harrell, again they hand up. Swartz, touchdown!
Oh my God. So
the Red Raiders have done it!
Woo. Unbelievable.
They erase a 31-point deficit and stage the largest comeback in the history of bowl games. Unbelievable.
And we were there. Absolutely unbelievable.
And Brandon Jones, their senior, had one of the key blocks, the center. And Glenn Mason cannot believe his eyes. We go downstairs to Alex Flanagan.
The game is not over. The play is under review.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please.
Wow. There was some talk, Coach, that there may be a challenge on that play, but it doesn't appear to be anything controversial about it. Clearly, Woods got across. And these Golden Gopher fans are just stunned.
Oh.
Let's go back to Alex Flanagan with the jubilant head coach.
All right, Coach, down 31 points at one point in this game. Where do you think the momentum shift happened?
We just kept slugging away. We kept slugging away the second half and put ourselves in a position to win it.
You're emotional right now. Why?
Well, it's a hell of an effort by those guys. It was a great effort.
You were just joking with me that you said to me, "Hey, I bet you didn't think you were going to be talking to me."
No,
at the
I
end of
didn't.
this
I don't
game."
think you thought you were. I thought we could win the thing. But I'll tell you what, the second half we squandered some chances there too. You know.
You really did think, though, you could win at the half.
Yes, I did.
All right, Coach. Congratulations, Texas Tech, Darren and Coach. Their first win against a Big Ten team, and Texas Tech advances to 7-6.
Oh, Alex, thank you very much. It is, again, the greatest comeback in the history of bowl games. Mike Leach's team erases a 31-point deficit in the second half and win it in overtime. The key block delivered by Brandon Jones, their senior center, to get in Shannon Woods into the end zone. Once again, our final score, Minnesota 41, Texas Tech 44. For Dick Vermeil, Alex Flanagan, and our entire NFL Network crew, I'm Darren Horton. NFL Total Access is next. So long from Arizona, a thriller in the 18th annual Insight Bowl.